Oh, hey. Funny seeing you here, so Happy New Year. To do something a little different today, I wanted to do kind of a channel review over the last year. Kind of talk about some things that have happened, some things that maybe you might not have noticed, maybe some of my favorite videos, the videos I think that got overlooked. Just kind of talk about the evolution of 40 Times Around over the last year as I kind of lead into some big changes that are happening this year that I'm actually going to be getting into next week in my videos. So before I forget, let me do the introduction. What's up everyone? I'm Tim. This is my channel 40 Times Around, where we talk about everything related to motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. And it's New Year's Day, so we're going to do a channel review. Like I said, stick around. Alright, so I hope you guys all had an awesome New Year's Eve, that everything went well, you were safe, and you had a good time. So before we kick this off, I finally got my shirt in the mail. I'm super excited about these. Some of you may know, if you've been keeping up on my videos, that I came up with a new logo this year. I actually have some stickers too. These are not currently available, but will be soon. Pretty excited about these. Working on how I can actually get those out to you guys, so I'll be talking about that in future videos. As far as the shirts though, these are available to anybody that wants them. Teespring.com. I'll leave a link in the description box below. That's this thing right here. So you just scroll down below the video, click right here on this link, it'll take you over to Teespring, and it still have all the designs from last year and the new one from this year. So as of January 1st, 2018, I had been posting videos for a few years, and I was really just doing travel videos with a little bit of music to them, just documenting my rides. I wasn't talking on camera. I was actually extremely shy about talking on camera. So something I mentioned in a recent video, but just to touch on it again, is that this was a big deal for me leading up to 2018. And for about 6 months prior to 2018, I was researching, watching YouTube videos on how to make videos, how to be engaging, all of the things that you've seen me do over the last year. There was a lot of behind the scenes before you ever even saw me talk in a video. So I set out January 1st of 2018 with the intention of posting twice a week for a year straight. I told myself, regardless of how this goes, I'm going to do that, because that at a minimum to me was an effort. That was trying. I could say if it didn't go well, you know what, I gave it my best shot. I gotta say I've been pretty blown away with the results I've gotten this year since I started posting consistently. So as a matter of fact, at the beginning of 2018, I had 263 subscribers. The reason for that was that I had a video that did really well for me a few years ago, and that was about a 15-minute long video I made documenting my big trip from that particular year. It kind of took off on its own and started doing its own thing, which kind of caught me off guard, but it kind of also sparked this idea in my head that, hey, maybe this YouTube thing has potential, maybe this can work for me, and so I decided to give it a go, to give it a real shot, that it was potentially a vehicle to help me live out my dreams and inspire other people, make a positive impact in the world, and generate income while doing it. So I decided to give this a shot, and over the last year I have been absolutely blown away by the results I've gotten since I started posting regularly. As of filming this, which it's not quite New Year's if I'm being honest, there are a total of 18,612 subscribers on 40 Times Around. This blows me away. It's way beyond what I was expecting to come out of this year. To be honest with you, I had a lot of doubts about how this year was going to go, and I had a lot of anxiety about posting videos, and I didn't know if it was going to pay off. It definitely has. Now that's just the number. The important thing here is you guys are freaking amazing. I have gotten so many awesome comments, I mean, that have just really blown me away, let's just say that. People telling me that I in some way inspired them or motivated them to try something new or get out on their bike more often or try motorcycle camping for the first time, that they bought gear on my recommendation and were happy with it. All of these things, they mean so much to me, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. This channel wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for you. So that really means more to me than any number on my channel. So it's been quite a year for me, and this is really, it's been quite a gift. I'm so grateful that I decided to push through that fear and anxiety of doing something well out of my comfort zone with making these videos. And to be honest with you, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it over the year. Speaking of my comfort level throughout the year, let's take a look at this first video, just a quick clip of it. What's up guys, I'm Tim and this is my channel 40 Times Around. Today we're hanging out in Tonto National Forest. And we're going to be talking about motorcycle trip budgets. Basically that just means how can you figure out what your trip will cost you before you leave. So this is actually really important, not just because you don't want to run out of money. Now, I'll tell you, the information in that video, still super relevant. It makes me cringe a little bit seeing it. The information in that video I think is super important and relevant. I put a lot of time into that first video. I actually filmed it, I don't remember anymore, but probably like 6 times at 6 different locations, trying to get the camera angles right, the audio right, trying to look relaxed on camera, the whole thing. I filmed it like 6 times before I actually decided on a version of it that would go public. That was the case with the first several videos before I was able to kind of do it in one shot. I didn't have to go out and film, come home and edit, watch it a few times, decide it's crap, throw it out, go back out, film it again, edit again, watch it, throw it out, over and over again. So after about 6 videos this year, I kind of got it down to like 1 or 2 tries. I was able to post it confidently. Don't get me wrong, there were a few videos that were a bit rough. I had some issues with my audio this year. It's been quite a roller coaster.
One pro tip is to use a bag that's easy to distinguish.
Possible hazards. We're also going to talk about all of the awesome... We're out on our bikes. We're not actually camping right now, but we're gonna... So after about 30 videos, I started kind of calming down a little bit, relaxing a little bit. I was trying a lot of different things though. And for a while I was actually using a teleprompter to kind of help me remember what I was trying to say, because the anxiety of it was so bad that I was forgetting what I wanted to talk about. I was constantly having to look at my notes. It just made the whole process a lot smoother if I had a teleprompter. I tried that for a while. In fact, you've seen a lot of my videos where I'm wearing sunglasses. The reason for that is I'm glancing at a teleprompter and looking at my notes that were just below the camera. I haven't really been doing that anymore as I've gotten much more relaxed with these videos. So let's actually take a look at some of the videos I've posted over the last year, and I can see here the 3rd video I did this year. You may actually recognize this map on my wall. I like to keep maps on my wall because it keeps me focused on my goals and where I'm heading in my life. So that's what that map is about. That was something, you know, I told myself I really didn't want to be filming in my apartment. I wanted to be out living the adventure that I was talking about, not just talking about it. And so I've stuck with that for the most part. Other than this one video and this second video right now, everything's been outside as I'm doing stuff, as I'm on adventures, traveling, camping, things like that. So these first few videos were all pretty local. I had a little help from my brother on a few of these and my buddy Bob as I was getting started. This one was a lot of fun. This Reflections on Motorcycle Travel. I feel like this one got kind of overlooked, to be honest with you. My exposure was a bit off on some of the video, but I thought the wording was really great. It just kind of talked about motorcycle travel and why it's so important to me. It's a pretty neat video. As a matter of fact, Reflections on Motorcycle Travel, I'll link to that one right here if you haven't seen it. That was a lot of fun to make. I had my brother kind of hiding in bushes as I came through this twisty road, and we would kind of like leapfrog down the road to get this shot. It was quite a project, but I think it came out great. Don't forget these 3 items. This was a video idea I was going to try to carry through and just talk about 3 random items that you might not necessarily think of that I typically travel with. This first one I did, I've gotten quite a few comments that it was a bit long-winded. I would have to agree with you on that. It was. Actually, one of the videos from this year that I took down was 3 things you should always have with you, because one of the things I mentioned was air freshener, and I do honestly travel with an air freshener, but I shouldn't say air freshener, it's more of a Febreze for, you know, my sleeping bag or my boots. If they start getting real funky, it doesn't hurt to just spray them down a little bit. The reason I took that video down was because I got so many negative comments about, you know, you've got to be kidding me, why would you travel with that? Well, that's why. So I took that video down because I just got kind of tired of explaining myself, to be honest with you. This video right here, backtracking a little bit, 5 items for comfort on a long trip. That totally blew me away. I was not expecting that video to do that good. It's not one of my favorite videos. It's not one of my proudest videos. The information is good, and I think it's relevant. I just wasn't expecting so many people to see that. It's a little embarrassing, actually. That video right now has over 127,000 views. I don't really understand why, but it just kind of took off. So, here's another one, what's in my motorcycle toolkit. I've gotten some comments on that's a little bit overkill, and I've actually made quite a few changes to that. I should probably do an updated version of what's in my toolkit currently. It is overkill for certain trips. A lot of my trips and what I've been gearing up for is long-term travel. So I do have a lot of stuff to do, general maintenance, because for me over a long trip, if it's 2 or 3 or more months, doing my own maintenance saves me a lot of money, especially on a BMW. They're not cheap to maintain. Not necessarily going to be worth it for everyone, and of course, if you're not even doing an oil change, you're not going to have to replace your brake pads, anything like that. You probably don't need a torque wrench. So this video right here was my first attempt at a moto vlog. It was not my best video, let's just say. I had the sun behind me. I'm used to filming with a camera where, it's just different. When I get on the bike and I'm trying to film and talk, I wasn't aware of where the sun was. So it was in the shot the whole time. It was really miserable. The topic I thought was relevant, and the information is still important. My audio was also pretty terrible in that, and I made a few more attempts at the Modo vlog. They got better with the sun not being in the shot. The audio got slightly better, but not quite. And actually one of you guys reached out to me to help me upgrade that audio. So huge shout out to D-Mal for helping out with that. I haven't been able to use that new equipment yet because I was running into some issues using it with the GoPro Hero 7 Black. So I'm kind of figuring that out, but the next Moto vlog that you see, the audio will be much better in that thanks to D-Mal. And actually, while we're talking about that, I had a few of you reach out to me this year to offer gifts and things to help me grow this channel, or just things for me personally. I actually put together a wish list if that's something you're interested in. I don't want to push it heavily. I'm a little uncomfortable even mentioning it, but it's been requested enough that I put together a list on Amazon of some things that could help me grow this channel, some things I would appreciate if you are looking to help out. I mean, there is Patreon, but some people just want to do a one-time donation to help with something that you might see pop up in a video, or something that's going to help me make better quality videos. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. That's enough of that. This next video, this was a huge turning point for me. Up until this point, I had been pretty professional and not really get too much into me as a person. It was something I wanted to do, but I needed a nudge to get there. And I'm grateful that I got that nudge in this 3x3 challenge when I got called out to talk about some things you didn't know about me. And I was able to open up a little bit because of that. I happened to be with my family. We also happened to be up in Maine exploring some pretty cool scenery up in Maine. Beautiful area. If you haven't seen the 3x3 challenge and you're curious to know a little bit more about me, that one kind of scratches the surface on at least 3 things you might not know about me if you haven't seen that video. So I was actually getting a lot of comments asking me about the sunglasses. People wanted to know what was up with that, why was I wearing sunglasses in all my videos, and it kind of gave me this nudge, maybe I should try to overcome this anxiety. I'm getting more comfortable with these videos. Let me try to ditch the teleprompter, ditch the sunglasses, and make these more of a personal video where we're kind of actually communicating, right? And it doesn't feel like there's this like disconnect because you can't see my eyes. So I decided to kind of get away from the teleprompter, and that happened in this video right here, where I did the 5 items to always pack for a motorcycle camping trip. That was the first time I really put the teleprompter away and didn't use it. Or I shouldn't say the first time, because I wasn't using a teleprompter in the beginning, but this was another turning point for me where I got away from the teleprompter again and decided that wasn't really how I wanted to do things. So, my favorite video of this year more than any of them was this one right here, my morning routine video. Because for me, I was really trying to capture something that is super important to me and means a lot to me and is a big aspect of motorcycle travel and motorcycle camping, is waking up at camp and kind of appreciating the day. See, the thing is, when I get to camp at night, I'm usually tired. I set up camp, I get a fire going, I cook some food, and I crash for the night. I don't get to appreciate so much the scenery until I wake up the next morning. And there's this calm, quiet feeling about it. There's a solitude that I really appreciate first thing in the morning when I'm motorcycle camping, and I feel that I feel that I did a good job capturing what that feels like for me. I added music to it, but there's no talking, and the only reason for the music was using the music to convey certain emotions, which I think came across pretty well in that video. So this was my favorite video of the year. I had a lot of fun making it, a lot of fun editing it, and I really just enjoyed that video. Here was another turning point, and something that I think you're going to see a little bit more of in the coming year. And that was my first official Modo vlog, where I kind of took you guys along for a ride with me. I was out in southeastern Arizona on a camping trip for a few days, and I was heading up to Mount Graham. I decided, let me document this day of travel and see if I can kind of capture the essence of what's going on here and what I'm doing on this adventure. I had a lot of fun making that. Seems like you guys liked it. Hopefully you did. As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask you guys a question. If this is something you like seeing, let me know in the comments below that you want to see more of these Moto vlog kind of ride along videos. I definitely do want to do more stuff like that, especially if it's something you guys actually want to see. Here was another really important video that I think got somewhat overlooked. It did all right, but then it kind of just tapered off. And I'm not sure why, because this video I think is maybe one of my more important videos to watch. And that is my video called What is Adventure? Where I kind of talk about what adventure means to me, why it's important, why it's something that we should seek to find more of in our lives. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's one of my most important videos, I think. I try to teach and educate on things I've learned along the way. But you know, gear is just gear. The motorcycle you choose to ride is just a motorcycle. What's really important is how you approach the adventure aspect of it. You know, things like getting to know people while you're traveling. Those kind of memories are gonna stick. How to approach obstacles. Those are things you're gonna remember in the future. Those are things that are gonna change you as a person and help you grow. If you haven't seen this video, I highly recommend you check it out. So that's about it. That catches us up to speed with the channel over the last 12 months. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. That way you don't miss anything in the coming year that I'm pretty excited about. One more side note. I am actually taking Friday off. I'm trying to catch up on some things, gearing up for some things in the future that I keep hinting at. I'm working on this new book. I'm trying to get that done. So I got a lot going on right now. I'm going to take Friday off. You won't be seeing a video from me on Friday. However, I will be back next Tuesday. Anyways, like I said, I hope you have a great new year, that it brings everything you're looking for and more, that you find a lot of happiness in the new year, and you go on a lot of adventures.